Welcome to Think Hub, where we dive deep into the creative genius shaping our world, one idea at a time. Have you ever considered how drastically urban life would change if elevators didn't exist? Picture having to climb 30 or 40 flights of stairs daily just to reach your home. It's almost unimaginable in today's world, where towering skyscrapers dominate city skylines. Elevators, though often overlooked, have been a critical innovation in transforming the way we live in modern cities. But who came up with the idea for the elevator? And how did this technological breakthrough revolutionize urban living as we know it? Let's take a closer look at the remarkable history of the elevator and how it has influenced the way we live today. Before elevators evolved into the advanced systems we're familiar with today, there were basic forms of lifting mechanisms that date back centuries. Ancient cultures, such as the Egyptians and Romans, utilized simple lift devices powered by human or animal effort. These early versions were far from the elevators we use in modern buildings. Instead, they were mainly employed for moving heavy materials in construction or raising water for practical use. While they lacked the complexity and safety features of today's elevators, these primitive systems laid the groundwork for future innovation in vertical transportation. A major leap in elevator technology occurred in 236 BCE when the Greek mathematician Archimedes invented a rudimentary rope and pulley system. Although still quite basic, this invention laid the foundation for future advancements in vertical transport. Moving forward to the Middle Ages, elevators started to appear in European castles, where they were used to move people or goods between floors. However, these early systems were far from efficient. They were often unreliable, limited in capacity, and posed safety risks. The real transformation in elevator technology, however, wouldn't arrive until much later, during the 19th century, when innovation began to rapidly accelerate. When we think of the modern elevator, one name that comes to mind is Elisha Otis. Although he didn't invent the elevator itself, his contribution was groundbreaking: the safety brake. Otis, a mechanic by trade, recognized that the main challenge to making elevators a common feature in buildings wasn't just designing a machine that could lift people or cargo. It was ensuring that the machine was safe for regular use. His safety brake, introduced in 1852, would lock the platform, preventing elevators from falling in the event of a rope failure, which was a key innovation that made elevators reliable and revolutionized vertical transportation. This simple yet essential feature opened the door for elevators to become a standard part of everyday life in cities around the world. In 1854, at the New York World's Fair, Elisha Otis gave a memorable demonstration of his groundbreaking invention. Standing atop an elevator platform, he instructed that the cable be cut. Instead of plummeting to the ground, as many might have expected, the safety brake he had designed kicked in, halting the platform in midair. This bold display not only captivated the audience, but also helped ease the public's fears surrounding the safety of elevators. After this event, elevators quickly became much less intimidating, and the technology gained widespread acceptance in the years that followed. Otis's invention of the safety brake opened the door for the use of elevators in both residential and commercial buildings. In 1857, the first passenger elevator was installed in a New York department store, marking a pivotal moment in urban development. This installation established a new standard, making elevators a vital feature in city life and increasing accessibility and convenience for everyday activities. As a result, elevators quickly evolved from simple lifting devices into essential components of urban architecture, transforming how people engaged with multi-story buildings. The introduction of safe, reliable elevators revolutionized urban landscapes in ways few could have predicted. Before this innovation, buildings were limited to 5 or 6 stories, and higher floors were generally undesirable because of the burden of climbing stairs. Wealthier residents often lived on lower floors, while those with fewer means were left to occupy the upper levels. However, with the widespread use of elevators, this dynamic shifted. Living or working on high floors became a status symbol, as these levels offered better views, more privacy, and cleaner air. This shift in preference not only altered where people wanted to live, but also changed the social order of cities, making high-rise living highly desirable. Elevators also fundamentally changed urban real estate, allowing developers to build upward rather than spreading buildings out horizontally. This transition to vertical construction made it possible to create taller and more densely populated structures, enabling cities to accommodate more people in a smaller area. This change was particularly important during the Industrial Revolution, when urban populations grew rapidly and the need for housing and commercial space became urgent. Elevators made it possible to address these demands, ultimately shaping the architectural and planning practices that would define modern cities. New York City is a prime example of how elevators reshaped urban growth. Before their introduction, the city expanded outward, sprawling into surrounding areas. The invention of elevators, however, marked a turning point, leading to the vertical expansion that now defines the city's skyline. The towering skyscrapers that characterize New York today would not have been possible without the innovative technology of the elevator. It is no exaggeration to say that the modern city, as we know it, owes much of its character and functionality to the elevator's impact on urban architecture and planning. Elevators allowed New York to make the most of its limited land while accommodating a growing population, ultimately shaping the iconic metropolis we recognize today. Elevators have had a profound impact not only on the architectural design of cities, but also on how we live and work. They have greatly improved accessibility for all people, especially the elderly and those with disabilities. Without elevators, multi-story buildings were often inaccessible to people with mobility challenges, essentially excluding them from many urban spaces. However, with the arrival of elevators, a new era of possibilities opened up, allowing people to live and work wherever they chose without being restricted by stairs. This development made navigating urban environments far more feasible for everyone, promoting inclusivity and enhancing quality of life in cities. Elevators also played a key role in changing the structure of residential buildings. Tall apartment complexes with dozens of floors became possible, allowing for more efficient land use. This made urban living more affordable for a wider range of people. Developers could pack more units into a single building without needing more land, which led to the rise of high-density living in cities worldwide. This transformation fundamentally changed the urban housing landscape and how cities could accommodate growing populations. In the business world, elevators were essential in shaping modern corporate offices. They made it possible for companies to house thousands of employees in one skyscraper, giving birth to the contemporary office environment. Without elevators, offices would be limited to fewer floors and smaller spaces. Elevators enabled businesses to expand vertically, optimizing their operations in tall buildings. This vertical growth has become the standard in cities, completely altering how businesses function and how employees interact with workspaces in today's fast-paced world. As cities grew and technology advanced, elevators evolved as well. In the early 20th century, electric elevators replaced steam-powered ones, improving speed, reliability, and ease of installation in buildings. Automated systems were developed, eliminating the need for human operators and making elevators a seamless part of daily life. These advancements enhanced the functionality of elevators and solidified their place as a critical element of modern urban infrastructure. Today, elevators are marvels of engineering, some capable of moving people hundreds of meters in a matter of seconds. Others feature glass enclosures, providing stunning views as they move between floors. Smart elevators use advanced algorithms to predict where they will be needed next, reducing wait times and boosting efficiency. What started as a simple way to move between floors has become a sophisticated technological system, symbolizing both progress and urban ingenuity. Modern elevators are not just practical tools. They embody human creativity and the relentless pursuit of advancement. So the next time you step into an elevator, take a moment to think about the incredible history behind this everyday convenience. It's not just a box that transports you between floors. It's a groundbreaking invention that has dramatically shaped the modern world. From Elisha Otis's life-saving safety brake to the skyline-dominating skyscrapers we see today, elevators have transformed how we live, work, and interact with cities. Their impact is felt globally, making them a cornerstone of urban life and a true testament to human innovation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more.